guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be kind of talking about my postpartum journey with baby blues, I guess recovery, and then going back to work. I haven't gotten back to work yet, but I have 2 more weeks, and so I'll kind of talk about how I've been feeling through all of that. I am going to look down at my phone because I did write a couple things down, and I don't want this video to be all over the place because I have recorded it before and it has been all over the place. So I kind of want to start off with the recovery. So I had an episiotomy. So the recovery wasn't so difficult, but it was something that I didn't think I was actually going to go through. There was a lot of bleeding, and it was prolonged bleeding, I felt like, because it was about for a month that that was going on. And this might be TMI for some people that don't want to listen to it, but this is just what I went through and how it all came into play with my recovery. So I had the prolonged bleeding, and at the hospital it was very hard for me to be mobile because of everything going on down there. So that kind of made me dread sitting and laying down in the bed at the hospital. It was very uncomfortable, and really, to be honest, like a lot of the things that I had packed in my hospital bag, I did not even use because I could not get up. Like, I brought pajamas, I brought clothes for the baby, and well, obviously I brought clothes, but I brought a lot of extra clothes for the baby that really she didn't even use because all we had her in was the swaddle. And for me, I just stayed in the gown that they gave you at the hospital. I didn't put on my pajamas. I didn't do anything other than the last day, because obviously I can't leave with their robe. I did not change. So the things that I should have brought, I didn't bring. I should have brought some underwear, because man, those mesh underwear that they give you are not comfortable. It literally was like all the way up under my boob. It was very uncomfortable. So that was kind of my recovery. It still obviously went through when I got back home. I was slow to walk around, get on the bed, get off the bed, all that kind of stuff. So the recovery took a little bit longer than I thought it was going to. With that being said, then I will start getting into my breastfeeding journey. That really didn't last very long. I wanted to breastfeed for as long as I could. If it was going to be 6 months, if it was going to be a year, I wanted to do it if I could. So when I was at the hospital, I think after she was born, the first feeding was within an hour or 2. So there wasn't a nurse in there. There wasn't a lactation consultant. A doctor wasn't in there. I kind of just put her on. It didn't hurt. I did whatever. Well, I kind of just laid there and had her feed. So that happened throughout the night, and I think that night I was feeding about every 2 to 3 hours. So I didn't know about there being a right latch or a wrong latch, and that first night it was a wrong latch every single time, because the next morning I was in pain. When I was at the hospital, it was chapped, it was sore. I had some lanolin cream, and then my nurse, after I told her that it was hurting and she noticed that my latch was wrong, she said just put some breast milk on it, and then it'll work for it'll work for healing your nipple. So I did that. I did the lanolin cream as much as I could, whatever. So then I think the 3rd day, which was my last day at the hospital, the lactation consultant came in, and she told me how to get her to latch on correctly. When she was there, obviously it was all dandy, and I said, oh, I can do this when I get home. I just have to guide her into the way that she told me, and it'll be fine. When I got home, it was not like that. I would have to keep relatching her or unlatching her and then putting her back on, and it was frustrating for her, and it was frustrating for me, because I wanted her to be able to latch. I wanted to breastfeed really, really, really bad. It was hurting. Like, having her lay on me, it hurt. But I said, I'm going to try. It's going to be fine. As long as I keep putting ointment on it or putting my breast milk, it'll be fine. It'll go away, and she can feed off of me. It'll be fine. But it kept getting harder and harder and harder, and she just was not getting the latch. As many times as I tried and my mom tried to help me, it was not working, and it was just making her more frustrated than me, because obviously she's hungry. So I just was like, whatever, I'm just gonna formula feed and supplement through that, and then I will just pump. What I didn't realize is it's a demand supply kind of a thing. So as much as she eats is what I'm going to be producing. So because I was supplementing with formula and I was pumping, I wasn't pumping at the times that she was eating. So my supply was very low. Once my milk came in, my chest was engorged, and I was in so much pain, and I had to pump at that time, and that was kind of the most that I was able to pump, was about 4 ounces. But again, I wasn't doing it every single time she was eating. So I was only pumping, I think, 2 or 3 times a day, and that's not as much as she was eating. So I think that me not being able to breastfeed was really getting to me, because financially I wanted to breastfeed, because breastfeeding is free. Formula can get expensive. But when I talked to my husband, he said, don't worry if it's becoming something that you're dreading, because he said, I know you really wanted to breastfeed, but if it's becoming something that you just don't think you'll be able to handle, and with me having to go back to work, I have talked to other moms, and they have said it's having a full-time job on top of a full-time job when you're breastfeeding at work. Yes, my work will accommodate to it, but at the same time, it's not ideal. So with that all being said, I kind of just decided whatever I was able to pump, I will use for emergencies, because a lot of people have said that breast milk obviously is really good for your baby. So I just I think I have like 5 or 6 bags in the freezer, and whenever she gets sick, I'll use the breast milk. I've heard it's really, really good. So that's kind of where I have been off with the breastfeeding. Now with that, going into baby blues and postpartum, it wasn't just breastfeeding that kind of affected me. It was a feeling of I kind of felt disconnected to the world. I didn't think I was ready to be a mom. I thought that I got pregnant too soon. It was all these kinds of emotions going through my head. And I think that a lot of it was battles within myself. I was comparing myself to other moms I was seeing online, and that was really affecting me, because I was thinking, wow, am I not a good mom because I'm not as happy as them? I'm not out and about, and I'm not doing all these things that they are doing. So that was really toxic for me, and I had to pull back and say, you know what, that's their journey and this is my journey. I will have. What helped me through that was going out to lunch with my mom, going out to lunch with my sisters, going out to Target. So she is about to be 2 months, and I only took 2 months off from work, so I'm going to go back in 2 weeks. So that is something else that I'm going to have to go through. I'm dropping her off at my mom's house because my mom is going to take care of her while I'm at work. So going back to work is obviously hard. Do I want to? No, obviously. Who wants to leave their 2-month-old baby? No one. So it's obviously something that I'm going to have to get used to. She's going to have to get used to. But that's also something that the people that I was comparing myself to, they're stay-at-home moms, and that's great. That's what they have been blessed with, and I just have to go to work. So with all that being said, a lot of people don't talk about postpartum depression or the baby blues, to be honest. And I kind of wanted to come on here and just talk about the little things that I went through, the things that helped me, and here and just say that you're not by yourself. If you need someone to talk to, reach out to anyone that you know that will be able to be there for you, because you need those kinds of people. If it's your husband, if it's your sister, if it's your mom, if it's your friends, do whatever you need to do to make yourself feel better. And yes, people are going to give you their opinion about things that they think you should be doing, but really do what works for you. Don't get offended. Don't think that they're judging you. Just do what works for you, and do not feel like you're by yourself, because you're not. So with that being said, if you guys have any or if you guys want to talk about anything down in the comments, please do, and I will be happy to respond, and kind of go back and forth and talk about our experiences. So yes, please do that, and then I will see you guys in my next video. Please leave me down some suggestions of anything you guys would like me to do, and I will be glad or happy to do them. Okay, bye.